Good morning. It is January 9th, about 10 after 11. I figure this is a good place to start the video. We've got full sun outside and the wind is blowing. Turbine has been going between 20 and 300 watts. Just about 50 or so right now, but it's been going up and down. Right now there's currently 50 amps, 1330 watts coming in from solar. The house is, well, intermittently using between 800 and 3,000. We've been trying to run everything. I ran the dishwasher, I got the wash machine, clothes wash machine going. 1340. It went up to 1360 just a couple minutes ago. Trying to keep the batteries from filling up and floating before solar noon. Solar noon is at exactly 11:59 today, so we're a little bit from it. 1380. Now this is the highest I've seen it go. With the new panels and new arrangement. 51.6 amps. You can see the panels themselves are making almost 76 volts and 17.2 amps. Controllers turning that into 25.8 volts and 51.5 amps. 52 amps. 1300 watts. So, it's almost 1400. That's a new record. That's as high as I've seen it go. So, more and more I'm starting to think I'm limited with the solar controller. You know, it's trying to max out. It really is trying. Like, I'm sucking the batteries down pretty far here. If I turned all this off, we'd go up to 29, 30 volts real fast. I've got a heat gun sitting here running, and that's using about 800 watts. If I click it to high, it's now using about 1400. The rest of the house is using like 200. You know. So the whole house is using about 1600 watts. Almost 65 amps at 24 volts, 24 point whatever. Intermittently. So the only way I'm going to see all 1600 watts come in from these panels is if I get it right in the sweet spot, and I need to get to about 27 volts or so, and I'll turn this back down, and I'll turn it off, and we'll see what happens. See how fast the batteries climb. I need to get it in that sweet spot where it can let all the amps in. 1360. It really wants to. Yeah, see how fast voltage is climbing already. 27.3, and that's with the washer pulsating. It's a very efficient washer, extremely efficient washer. I did a whole separate episode on that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on this, and I'll check back if we can get up over 1400 into the 1500s. I don't think we'll actually hit the 1600 that I would like to see. For a couple different reasons, but I have a feeling my 60 amp controller can really only do probably 55, and I guess that's okay with me, you know, but I kind of just want to see what the ceiling is, so I'm going to use the opportunity today to find that ceiling for the next half an hour here before solar noon. I'm going to try and keep the batteries right in the sweet spot, right about here, you know, in the 27 and 28 range, and that will maximize the watts that the solar controller will allow to come in, because it's not going to go over 55 amps, I don't think. You know, see, we're already down to, because the battery voltage is climbing. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we're almost up to 29 volts already. The amps are going down, but you know, we still have consistent wattage coming in. So I gotta, I don't know, try and keep her in that sweet spot. And I'd like to see, you know, I'd really be happy to see 1500 watts coming in, but I just got a feeling we're not going to. So I'll keep an eye on it. If something crazy happens, I'll pull the camera back up. Alright, stay tuned. Okay, so we're getting a little closer. 52.5 is the new max I've ever seen. There we go again. 52.5 amps. It went up to 1400 watts for just a moment. It's been bouncing around 1350, or I mean 1350 to 1390, and then it bounced up to 1400. It's only about 11:30 right now, so it's still got about 30 minutes before solar noon, but really, like, it's negligible. It's almost totally direct full sun. Well, see, once in a while it'll do this. It'll dip the power down to see how fast voltage drops. But right now the house is using a ton. I got the vacuum going. I got the little heater going here. The washer is still going. So the house is using a ton of power. Almost 2300 watts. So, but if it all turned off, volts would go back up to 29 real fast. Now, here, I'll turn this guy off. That takes 800 watts out of the equation. Whoop! 1410. That's a new record. Well, that's cool. So we went over 1400 watts. That's exciting. 52.3 amps. It really is trying, you know. I just feel like I'm limited with the solar controller. I know those panels can do more than what I'm seeing. You know, there's no way that they're only 50 watt panels. You know, they might be 85 or 90 watt panels, what they can actually do. They're rated for 100, But I don't know. I guess unless I disconnected, that's one way I could tell. I guess I could remove one string of the original panels. If I unplugged one series, that would take 4 of the original panels out of the equation. And if I was, that would tell me exactly what they can put out. 1400. Because, obviously we know this thing can do over 1200. Before the new panels, they did all of 1200. So if I removed one set of 4 panels, the older ones, I could figure out the difference between 1200 and what it's actually doing, and that would give me an exact number of what the new ones can do. If it ends up being 1800 watts or whatever that they can actually put out, I would then know. Or if I just removed all of the other panels out of the equation, I could get an absolute exact number. If I only had the 4 new panels running to the solar controller at high noon, I would know absolutely exactly what they can put out, divided by 4, and I can tell you what each individual panel can do wired absolutely as efficiently as it possibly can. I've gauged up everything. This entire connection between panel and battery has been absolutely maximized, optimized. We're dealing with a lot of copper, like 100 pounds in copper between the panels and batteries just to get it here. There's the chunk of wire, this guy coming from the string, that's a heavy chunk of wire. So I know I'm not limited by my wire or my connections anymore. I'm quite confident that it's the solar controller, and I'm still happy with it. Here I am at 11:30 trying to purge power because the batteries are filling up so fast. And when you have a solar house or a house that runs on renewable energy, that is what you do. If you've got laundry to do, if you've got dishes to do, if you've got vacuuming to do, if I had some fabricating to do, I would run my welder right now while max power is coming in. So, you use your big items while the power is coming in, and then you conserve at night. And at night we relax and watch a movie or whatever. I'll go into my reloading room and press some bullets or something, and whatever. We conserve at night. We don't obviously run the dishwasher or the vacuum when there's no power coming in. If there happens to be 30-mile-an-hour wind outside, excuse me, and turbine starts making a ton of power, then we'll and the dump load controller starts kicking on. Actually, right now, because it's the winter time, it's not even hooked up to anything. I probably, just for fun, I could hook it up to the resistor bank. That's just sitting there, not hooked up to anything. This wire runs to the hot water heater, but it's disconnected because my winter circuit runs, the hot water is heated by the wood furnace, and I don't want the dump load to overheat it because we get really good heat. Here, I'll show you off of the wood furnace from the copper coil. Like, we're probably, yeah, 125 degrees. This is actually below average. I let the house is pretty warm. I let the fire kind of go down a little bit. We're generally more like 130, 140 degrees all winter. So, anyways, I'll continue to keep an eye at this. But yeah, see, look at how fast voltage is climbing. We're already 29.3, and watts are, yeah, watts are starting to go down. So I gotta kick the heater back on, and I'll bet ya, see, voltage dips. So now amps will start going on back up. See, look at that, to try and make up for it. House is using 33 amps. So the solar tries to compensate for that dip. Let's kick it up to high. Now we're using 60 amps. We gotta be getting close enough to solar noon that we should be able to see absolute max power here. 50.6, 1360, 1380. Ah. 1390. Oh, something just kicked on. Ooh, 1410. That's my peak so far. 51.3 amps, 52 amps. Panels are making 18.1, 18.5. $1,400. Yeah, that really seems to be the ceiling. Kick this guy back down to low. See if we can get the volts in a sweet spot right around 27. That should go back up pretty quick there. 900. It's using. Oh, this inverter is just so damn great. This is the AC coming out of the inverter. So it's using, the house is actually using 910 watts, let's say. And the inverter is using another 50 watts to make that, you know. You can calculate the efficiency by dividing that by that, and that'll give you your number. I don't have a calculator handy, and I am not the medicine man, so I can't do that math that fast, but it's pretty good. You know, we're talking 90% efficient, basically. Oh, see, it's testing the batteries again. It'll dip the incoming power to see how fast the batteries dip. And that's how it tests battery capacity. And then it will ramp it back up. because its goal is to get them to max voltage. You know, I've got this set where 30 volts is maximum voltage. It wants to do the boost cycle, and then it wants to float them. So pretty quick here, I need to just leave it be and let it do what it wants to do. It's trying to maximize, you know, battery life, and to do that it needs to get the batteries up to maximum voltage, let them bubble. So turned everything off. I think the TV and some crap upstairs is still going, but yeah, we're gonna see now, because this controller, the max voltage is set to like 29.5, so it's putting the brakes on. I still need to get the cable to be able to link this up to the computer where I can turn the maximum voltage up. I can't do that from just the interface here. You know, I can do lots of adjustment, but that's one thing I can't do, is turn up the voltage ceiling on this controller. So that's, see that little symbol, the circle around the little propeller spinning? That means the brakes are on, because we're closing in on 30 volts. Dump load controller is set to dump at 31 volts, and that's, I just have that set for when I was doing my equalized charge. But you know, there we go. The batteries are starting to, can you hear them? Be real quiet. I love that sound. Anyhow, you see, wattage is starting to go down now. Batteries are filling up. So it'll just keep them right around here, right around 29.5, 30 volts. It'll keep them full for an hour, and it'll float them down to 27.6, and it'll do that for as long as it can until the sun goes down. Intermittently, it will dip the power out, test, and then ramp it back up. And that's just capacity testing. It's just seeing where the actual battery voltage is. It can, you know, it can tell what's actually in the battery by how fast the voltage drops as it ramps the power out and then ramps it back in. They are really smart controllers. This is a great controller. I love it. It has served me really well, but I think this is my limitation, and I'm just not going to see what my panels can actually do come through this. So if I want to see all 1600 watts coming in, next step is that guy's got to get upgraded. Rectifer makes an 80 amp and a 100 amp, and the 100 amp can take up to 200 volts. So I could change my series outside, and I could series 8 panels. I could do 2 strings of 8 panels, and that would bring the incoming voltage up even higher and the incoming amperage down even further, and then this would be doing all of the work, the new one. So I think that's the next step. It's not an immediate need, but it's on the list of things I would like to add, because if I want to further expand my solar production, that's my limitation. So a 100 amp solar controller, I'll go with the same brand. You cannot beat the price, and yeah, it probably can't do a real 100 watts. It can probably do, amps. It can probably do 90 amps, but 90 amps, we're talking about like 22, 24, 100 watts, a lot more than what I've got now. But that would easily allow me to add another 4 panels and have 2,000 watts of solar outside and see all 2,000 coming in, and that would absolutely guarantee that my batteries stay in fantastic condition. I would be, even on cloudy days, I'd still be seeing 1,000 watts coming in. Whether the wind was doing anything or not. Wind is very unreliable here. Um, when it blows, I appreciate it wholeheartedly, because the wind has saved us lots of times. There's lots of times we had multiple cloudy days in a row, and that north wind starts blowing, and that is the only thing keeping the batteries in the green. But it's not often. When it happens, that's what keeps me from having to go outside and start the generator, and it's great. It's been a valuable addition to the system. Did it pay itself off? I don't know. It's helping maintain my $3,000 battery investment. You tell me. I got $1,000 into it, but it's helping take care of these. So yeah, wind is worth it. Solar is absolutely awesome. Solar is king. That's 98% of the power this house uses comes from solar. So anyways, before this gets way too long, thanks for watching. God bless ya, and take care.